This evening I would like to talk about the beauty of ordinary things. The beauty that exists in ordinary things. If you look at the way people bring up children today, you can see children are all the time stimulated through their eyes, through their ears, through activities, through food, through clothes. So they grow up living on, feeding on, if you like, stimulation. People think if you stimulate the child, he will grow up, as an intelligent adult, intelligent person, and creative. This is what people believe. But some people, it's not because they think stimulation of the senses is linked to intelligence, but because they do not have time to look after their children, so they sit their children in front of the television. So they ask the television to babysit for them. But some parents, they have time, but they themselves, they are restless and they need stimulation. So they're trying to stimulate themselves and they pass the habit to their children at the same time.เพราะว่าตัวเองเหงามีโยมโทรมาว่าท่านนั่งสมาธิที่ว่าพูดเหงาไหม ไม่แปลภาษาอังกฤษแล้วไม่พูดภาษาอังกฤษแล้ว As a result, people grow up knowing happiness or associating happiness with excitement. The idea of excitement and the idea of happiness to them is the same. It's the same. If they are very happy, they say very exciting. When they say very exciting, that means they are happy. So the same expression. When there's no excitement, on the other hand, they cannot understand the idea of happiness, the concept, the definition, the perception of happiness. At top university in the world, top university, that means the admission process is very strict. The screening process is very vigorous. So you can say they only have intelligent students. Roughly, you can say that. But if you have been to those universities and you see for yourself, you see that stimulation and intelligence, if they come together, then you will see not just the plus side of it, you will also see the minus side of it if you have to witness it yourself. ที่บอกว่ามีประโยชน์เกี่ยวเนื่องกันนะระหว่าง stimulation กับ intelligence อาจจะจริงแต่จริงไม่จริงอันนี้อาตมาไม่ทราบนะเพราะว่ายังไม่ได้อ่านดูเหมือนกับผลการค้นคว้าแต่ก็อยากจะบอกว่าผลเสียนะจะสามารถเห็นในผลเสีย the dangerous side of it the side effect of it if you like the side effect of stimulation young people 18 years old in England they go to university I have been to also university for the last 10 years today is Saturday so Friday and Saturday okay they call very wild okay very wild day very wild evening Friday student okay first they just go to the pub they don't even go to the pub first and they just have a can of beer and that's not enough to stimulate them they go to the pub because in the pub you have a drink as well as very loud music so you are being stimulated through the ears as well as through the tongue maybe also some dancing you see so we have 8 weeks in Oxford. One term is 8 weeks, 2 months. 3 terms, that's 6 months. People study only 6 months. Another 6 months is holiday. Yes. Next week, next Friday, the amount of alcohol cannot remain the same. Because there's not sufficient anymore to stimulate you. You need to increase it. And by the time you finish the first year, you can see the amount of alcohol that you have increased. As a result, you see, in the end, alcohol loses its impact, loses its shock, loses its magic on these young people. So it's not difficult to see people experimenting gancha, for example, some sort of amphetamine, yaba, because alcohol is not stimulative enough anymore. So people argue in America, when President Clinton was the president, when you were in Oxford, did you take drugs? Did you smoke? Did you smoke gancha? People asked him. And government ministers, who have been to top universities, you can ask them. Most of them, they can say yes, they have done it because they needed to stimulate themselves. There's a famous answer from President Clinton. He said, I smoked, but I didn't inhale. You see? Excitement and happiness. Habitually, emotionally, when you are brought up to link them. So, when you are under pressure, emotionally under pressure, when you're under stress, the first psychological outlet that you will be looking for is excitement. Excitement. But as we have just discussed, the student have to increase the amount of alcohol. That's because the same amount of alcohol loses its magic, loses its excitement. It can't excite you anymore. It can't excite you anymore. Well, this is not my saying. Richard Gere, the Hollywood actor, he appeared on the Buddhist documentary program on the BBC. It's called The Buddha. He was relating to this theme, how Buddhism helps him as an actor, as an artist. He said, imagine you are somebody who really likes cookie. Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, the first time you taste is wonderful. Really, you like it? Then someone gives you again tomorrow. Have it. You take it. Now, less wonderful. Third time, you eat it out of courtesy. No more wonderful. The fourth day, you see the cookie, you will pronounce, I hate it. You can see excitement fading away and boredom takes its place. So, boredom and excitement, they are the two sides of the same coin. When we are ordained as a monk, from the first day, we are made to wear this color, this uniform. And throughout our life, we have to wear the same thing, the same color, the same uniform. If you compare with yourself, you go to work, okay, you wouldn't put on the same clothes every day. Not the same color every day. First, you feel bored yourself. Second, you don't feel confident that people around you, they change their clothes every day and you seem to be wearing the same piece of clothes. So, you have no confidence to go out, okay, to face your friends. Confidence, and then boredom. I have been a monk since I was very young, so I didn't really know that when people go to a wedding, each time, they get themselves a new setup, the clothes. I didn't know it. I just came to know it a few years ago. And I was quite amazed that people feel the pressure. They feel the pressure that they have to do it. Okay, they have to do it. And just for one occasion. If you look deep down inside, you can see confidence, excitement, and also the need, okay, you're confident means the need to feel, the need to impress people. In our practice, in monastic life, we are made to face this issue early on. The issue of boredom, the issue of excitement. We have to take it on. We have to take them head on, to deal with them. If we can deal with them, we stay on. If we can't, then we leave. We leave. Excitement and boredom, big factor in life, not just for the monks and nuns, but also for lay people. The first day of ordination, okay, the day of ordination, many people come. Many people come and everybody, okay, say something very good about you. And when you are very young, people bring a lot of food for you as well. The next day, there isn't anyone anymore. What a contrast. Excitement one day, boredom the next day. Okay. We have to deal with that from the second day onward. So, maybe I can say that monks, they know how to deal with boredom. They don't need excitement to feel happy. Because they don't associate the idea of excitement with happiness. And with food, I have already spoken about cookie and Richard Gere. The food may be very delicious, but if you have the same color, the same dish, okay, every day, even the same, maybe slightly different cooking, fish every day, or maybe chicken every day, okay, how you're going to feel? There is no excitement. And actually many people lose their appetite. You can see boredom and excitement over there. Many people cannot eat at home. They have to go to a restaurant. But only to discover that the restaurants, each one has very limited menu. Because the cook, they can cook only so much, so many dishes. So they have set menu. You can't have more than 15, 20, even in big restaurants. Then what you have to do? Change the restaurant. Change the restaurant again. Thus, what drives you to do that is boredom. Looking for excitement. Come back to our meditation practice. Rising and falling, there is no excitement. Breathing in and out, no excitement. Walking, lifting, placing, nothing exciting. So, if you complain, it's boring, I don't blame you. In addition, just like the monks, same uniform every day. Okay, same uniform. And no television, no reading. So life is very routine. It's routinized, purposefully. Okay, it's routinized. But in the first few days, you have something to excite you. Rising and falling, you see your mind slipping away. So you see images, there is some excitement. Yeah. And after that, pain arises. This may not be very exciting, but not boring. Not boring, you see. Yeah. So pain and then thoughts. You have something to keep you busy. But from the 4th day, the 5th day, for example, for some people, less pain and less thoughts in some session. So the mind stays with rising and falling longer, and you can walk longer. You can walk longer. After a few sessions of calm and concentrated session, you experience boredom. You feel very bored. I want to go home. You see, very boring. Observing rising and falling is very boring. You start experiencing boredom. The mind unconsciously is looking for excitement. The habit of immersing yourself in excitement, pops up again and again. If you are facing boredom, I tell you, you are having a very important meditation object. You should focus on this. You should notice. You should observe boredom, and then return to rising and falling. Boredom comes up again. You look at that again, and then return to breathing, to rising and falling. Trying to observe boredom as much as you can. As you go on registering boredom, you keep registering boredom. After some time, you will come to see different manifestation, different aspects of boredom. When you feel bored, you can see your energy going down. But sometimes when boredom becomes so strong, the energy doesn't go down. Instead, it goes up, drastically. And what you want to do, you want to get up and give up the whole meditation. The energy of boredom upsurging within you. You can see the power of boredom. When boredom sets in, when boredom comes in, you will also see restlessness. The mind becomes restless. What does it mean, boredom? What does it mean, restlessness? Here, I would like to ask you to focus on one thing. Restlessness and boredom means the mind is looking for something delightful here and there, everywhere. Looking for excitement, here, over there, moving all the time. Many Thai people living in Europe and America, when they are there, they miss Thailand, they miss home. So they plan their holiday. Next year, I'm going back, to visit Thailand. And they come back. After a week, all they want to do is go back to Europe. They get bored here. They get bored over there and they get bored here. You can see. You look for excitement in Europe, in Thailand, in Pattaya, in Chiang Mai, in Cham, in Hawaii, everywhere. When you feel bored, anything that you have in your hand becomes insignificant, unimportant, uninteresting. Whatever you have. As a result, you look for something that you don't have. In other words, you lose the ability to enjoy what you have. And you start living in delusion that something that you haven't got might make you happy. You can see the mind creating problem, creating suffering. You can see it. In the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, there is one word. Patthoma Tesana, there is one word in Pali. Tattara, tattara, pinantini. Tattara, tattara, pinantini. Tattara means over there. Another tattara means over there. Abhinandini, looking for delight. Looking for delight here and there, everywhere. When it says looking for, that means you haven't found it. Looking for delight, meaning you haven't found delight anywhere. Looking for delight here and there, everywhere, is equal to another statement which says, I haven't found delight anywhere. The state of mind, that particular state of mind is expressed in three terms, explained in three terms. The first one is, you look for senses to enjoy. Senses means sensual pleasure. Through the eyes, looking for happiness through the eye, happiness through the ears. Okay. Sometimes you feel bored. Staying at home, what do? You go to a shopping mall and you do window shopping, just looking at the shops. It makes you feel very happy. I say, very relieved. It's okay not to buy anything, just window shopping, very relieved. But sometimes you buy something you don't really need. You buy, and you bargain, asking for discount, bargain. Okay. You give a hard time to the shop. Yeah. At the end of a few hours, you go home, you feel very satisfied. Okay. You have dealt with your boredom. Okay. By buying something that you may not need. Yeah. So you go home feeling delightful. There's the eye, okay, there's the eye. The ears, noise and silence, two sides of the same noise. Children, they are brought up with noises. with noises. So when there is silence, they don't know how to deal with themselves. Silence is terrifying, so fearful, so painful. So what do they do? Remote control, television. Now watching television every day, now they get bored. Music. The same music, you run out of your CD. Now you don't want music anymore. Your mobile, start calling your friends. Because you feel very bored. You feel very bored. You can see the behavior. You see, first, emotion, excitement. Excitement becomes a habit. The habit becomes a character, restless character. Okay, easily bored character. From that character, how you behave. You can see the behavior. Always looking for excitement. That's behavior. Very often, I have to bless new couples, okay, newlywed couples. The bride and the groom, the newlywed couples. I always tell them to look for boredom in their heart. If they find boredom, they should meditate. They should deal with that boredom. First, when they meet, okay, and when they have just got married, they feel very excited. After some time, they feel bored. So I always tell them, whatever you do, don't get bored with each other. I am a monk. I don't have that challenge. You see, they face that challenge. Being with the same person all their life. I really feel compassion for them. Sometimes, when people go on holiday, if both husband and wife are working, they meet very rarely during the day. They meet only during weekend, and that even they have function and social function, so they have less time to talk to each other. When they go on holiday, they can't escape each other because they have to talk and they get bored. In Europe, the divorce rate, when you look at the divorce, usually it takes place after they come back from their holiday. Amazing. ไปนั่งสมาธิดีกว่า I need to translate, Sophie. I say better to go on meditation retreat rather than holiday. I think it's a common experience when you go on holiday. You really look for the excitement that you're going to have on the holiday, during the holiday. A new place, the hotel services, the sightseeing. But if you happen to stay in the hotels with a lot of holiday makers, you will hear a lot of complaining. People complain a lot. The bus is about 5 minutes late, they complain. The food is a little bit cold, they complain. They sit in the dining room, the food is a little bit late, they complain. Any tiny thing, they complain. Of course, due partly to high expectation, partly due to the boredom inside. They don't deal with boredom directly. Instead, they're trying to cover up boredom with holiday excitement. But you can't cover it long, you see. It is bound to come up. So people really complain. They complain on everything. Three manifestations. The first one is an attempt to satisfy your senses. Your senses. So that's the first one. The second one, after you have got some satisfaction from the senses, from looking at something, from eating something, from listening to something, after you have got pleasure from that, the same thing cannot satisfy you a long time. You get bored with that. So you have to look for another thing. Looking for excitement. Looking for pleasure, the same pleasure, but not from the same thing. The same pleasure, not from the same thing. Not from the same sound. Not from the same song. Not from the same music, piece of music. But what you're looking for is the same thing. Pleasure. Pleasure. So we call this becoming, the process of becoming, the process of extending the pleasure. Extend the pleasure. I'm going to use Pali word. The first one, the attempt to satisfy your senses is kama tanha. When the same object cannot satisfy you, when you look for pleasure elsewhere, that's bhava tanha. Bhava tanha. After that, the degree of high emotion, high state emotion, is only going higher and higher, higher and higher. Singers, they can't enjoy their own song. They can't enjoy it. You are crazy about Michael Jackson's song, but he can't enjoy himself. He can't enjoy his song because his mind is already, addicted to excitement. Addicted to excitement. So the first is trying to satisfy your senses. The second is being addicted to that sense pleasure, sensual pleasure, and looking for it again and again. Bhava tanha. After that, you come to see the dark side of it. The dark side is that you lose the ability to enjoy most things, most of the things you have. You may have many things in life, a big house, a nice car, a big bank account, a fat bank account, nice friends. But what you have become insignificant, unimportant, uninteresting. uninteresting. You come to be irritated with them. They become a source of irritation. What you want to be is now, you want to escape from them. You hate them. Vipava tanha. Because something that has a magic cannot make magic twice. It cannot, from the second time onwards, it loses its magical effect. It's not possible to watch Harry Potter film again and again. Not possible. You see. Why? Because something magical becomes so ordinary. It becomes so ordinary that you see nothing magical in it anymore. Nothing to excite you anymore. So it becomes odd. But Harry Potter film, Harry Potter books, they remain the same. They remain the same. They haven't changed. Your perception of them has changed. Your relationship with them has changed. So, your mind is is subjective. It's subjective. The subjective mind loses the ability to enjoy Harry Potter because even Harry Potter becomes so ordinary. Well, by the way, Harry Potter, where people made the film, is very close to my temple in Oxford. Just to excite you. อยู่ถนนเดียวกัน Ask yourself an important question. An important question. In your life, look at 24 hours of your life. Just 24 hours. Exciting moment and ordinary moments. Which is more? Okay. You have more exciting moments in 24 hours or you have more ordinary moments? You have more ordinary moments. You cannot excite yourself many times in 24 hours. In a week, in a month, in a year, to excite yourself is expensive. It's expensive. And excitement, one excitement loses its excitement, as we have discussed, very easily. So you need to replace it immediately. More than, I think, quicker than Microsoft Word. You cannot party every day because the party will lose its impact, its magic. You cannot go on holiday all year around because holiday will become very ordinary. You see, so in our life, the whole of our life, we have maybe about 90%, 95%, maybe 98%, 99% ordinary moments and very tiny exciting moments. Excitement covers very tiny part of our life. If we look for only those exciting moments, we neglect a large part of our life. If you associate the idea of happiness to exciting moments, you're going to be very happy for a very short period in your life. Because excitement and happiness are tied together, and excitement forms very the slightest part of your life. It's important that we learn the beauty of ordinary moments, which is the largest part of our life. Excitement is not only expensive, it's also rare. It's also rare. Rudyard Kipling, the poet. If you read his poem, Blue Roses, Blue Roses, very difficult to find them. Very difficult to find them. Actually, in his time, it didn't exist. If you want, according to his poem, if your sweetheart wants blue roses, you go half of the world to look for it. You wouldn't find it. And you come back. Life is already spent. No time to enjoy life anymore. The poem shows the psychology of many people. You look for happiness from extraordinary things, which are very rare and which are very small, which are very difficult to find, and once you find them, lose their value almost immediately. So that kind of exalted, if you like, exalted thing is where most people trying to look for happiness. Many of my teachers, because they have been monks for many years, I mean monk teachers, not lay teachers. Every day they get up, they do chanting, they eat something very simple, almost the same every day, not just 1 week, not just 1 month, every year. Some of them, for their breakfast, they have porridge. Some of them, they have simple rice and some beans, some simple dishes. If you sit beside them and see them eating, they enjoy it very much. Not just 1 day, every day. Not 1 month, every month. Not 1 year, every year. Why? You can't enjoy it. Because you don't have the ability to enjoy the ordinary things. But they have found the beauty in anything ordinary. In things ordinary. To find the beauty of ordinary things, first thing we have to do is to deal with our boredom. When you do walking, you're walking, lifting, forward placing. People who don't meditate, they also do it every day. Very ordinary thing. Rising and falling, whether you observe it or not, is here. This is the way your body works. Very ordinary. Very ordinary. So, in meditation, we focus on something very ordinary. It's from this kind of ordinary thing that enlightenment comes. Going to sleep, getting up, going to the bathroom, washing your face, brushing your teeth, having breakfast, everything is very ordinary. If you do not feel bored, you will see the beauty in any action, in all the actions you do, in all the movements you have. Because ordinariness dominates more than 90% of our life. So at least we can say that over 90% of our life will be beautiful. I believe at the end of this retreat, you will enjoy more of something ordinary, and I wish you so. Thank you. Any question? Any extraordinary question?
มีไหมคะพิเศษหน่อย
Some extraordinary question about something ordinary.
ท่านอาจารย์ท้าทายนะคะ ให้ถามคำถามพิเศษเกี่ยวกับสิ่งธรรมดาธรรมดา
ธรรมะอยู่ในสิ่งธรรมดาอยู่ในของที่ธรรมดาอยู่ในเวลาธรรมดาอยู่ที่สิ่งที่เราเห็นว่าไม่ค่อยสำคัญเท่าไหร่เพราะว่าสิ่งที่เราคิดว่าไม่สำคัญสิ่งธรรมดาเวลาธรรมดาของธรรมดาอาหารธรรมดาเป็นสิ่งธรรมดานี่แหละที่เราใช้ในชีวิตของเราประจำวันนะส่วนมากเพราะฉะนั้นธรรมะเวลาคิดถึงธรรมะให้คิดถึงธรรมดาสิ่งธรรมดาเวลาเห็นสิ่งธรรมดาซึ่งมีทุกแห่งให้คิดเห็นธรรมะให้นึกถึงธรรมะเจริญพร